What if I told you your clothes are speaking before you ever even open your mouth? Not just what you wear, but how it fits, how clean it is. People are making snap judgments about your confidence, your intelligence, even your trustworthiness based solely on your outfit. Hi, I'm Erin. I am a holistic style coach, upcycle clothing designer, and personal stylist based in Austin, Texas. I help people build wardrobes that are elevated, sustainable, and deeply personal. I'm endlessly fascinated by how clothes make us feel and how we are perceived in our clothes. I love helping clients infuse their personality into their look with intention and authenticity. Today I'm going to be talking about the psychology behind dress and first impressions. Your clothes are saying more than you think. So let's get into it. So let's get started with this. Our brains are wired to judge very quickly. According to research published in the Journal of Psychological Science, we assess someone's attractiveness, likability, trustworthiness, and even competence within the first 100 milliseconds of seeing them. It's less than a blink of an eye. And what are we judging? Visual cues, and our clothes play a huge part in that. Since our sense of sight is our most developed sense, we subconsciously use clothing as a shortcut to understand who someone is, or rather who we think they are. We assume that someone's outside matches their inside. This is called congruence. I want you to ask yourself, what assumptions are people making based on what they see when they look at you? The good news is you have power over the message you're sending. So let's talk about the way your clothes fit. When your clothes fit well, they tend to signify confidence, competence, and self-respect. So when getting dressed, you need to think about what the message is that you're sending by the way that your clothes fit you. If you're wearing something oversized, is it a style choice or are you trying to disappear? On the flip side, wearing something tight or revealing does send a message that you want to be seen. Let me be clear. Just because someone wears tight or revealing clothing, it does not mean that they are seeking your attention or want your attention. But culturally, that is a message that a lot of people still get when they see, especially women, in tight or revealing clothing. Being aware of this gives you control and power over those decisions. Knowledge is power. Making intentional choices about the way that you dress is also powerful. Next, let's talk about cleanliness and the condition of your clothes. Are your clothes clean, unwrinkled, free of tears, pills, stains? From a psychological perspective, dirty, torn, wrinkled, or disheveled clothing can signal to others that you lack self-confidence, that you are disorganized or sloppy, even if these things are not true. Clear, it's not about perfection, but it is about being intentional when you get dressed and making sure that you are aware of the way that you look when you are being perceived by other people. Let's talk about the style of your clothing itself and the messages that that sends to others. Is what you're wearing trendy, classic, outdated? These choices affect how people perceive your social self-awareness. Dressing in an obviously outdated manner can lead to assumptions that you're inflexible or out of touch. On the flip side, if you are dressed in an overly trendy outfit, especially if the environment is more conservative, like a workplace, this can send a signal that you are a little bit self-involved, possibly shallow and vain. The sweet spot is an outfit that feels current, but isn't trying too hard to be performative. So to go deeper into this, there is a very fine line to walk here because there is this idea that people who are nonconformist and make nonconformist choices can be seen as more self-confident and more successful, while people who are excessive in those traits of nonconformity, so think excessive facial piercings, excessive facial tattoos, costume-like appearance in public, can have the opposite effect by making that person seem actually more self-conscious and insecure because they need to grab the attention of the people around them. Moderation is key. So let's talk about color. The meaning of colors is going to depend on where you live in the world and your own unique culture, as do a lot of these things that I've been talking about. But color is something that we traditionally in the US see in the following ways. So dark colors, especially in the West, signify a sense of authority. So this comes from our cultural understanding that uniforms are typically in dark colors. Think law enforcement officers in the army, those sorts of things. So we typically see dark colors as being very authoritative and confident. Typically why power suits are in grays or charcoals, navies, blacks, etc. On the other side, we tend to associate light colors, soft colors, pastels with femininity, softness, youth. If you are wanting to soften your appearance or make yourself feel more approachable to others, you would want to wear softer, more feminine colors. Because bright colors are typically associated with children, they're also considered very extroverted, energetic, and playful. While muted tones and neutrals are often considered conservative and professional, especially when they are on garments that are in very traditional shapes, think suiting, slacks, those kinds of things. Now, on the flip side, if you have a neutral color, and we can thank luxury fashion houses for this, but if you have a garment that may not be as traditional in shape, but it's more neutral in color, think garments from designers like the Row, we look at them as being quiet luxury, expensive, etc. Warm tones, on the other hand, especially earthy warm tones like browns and golden yellows and like earthy greens, are typically associated with warmth, being down to earth, open, friendly, kind, and approachable. Now, red is in a category all its own. Red is one of those rare colors that there's lots of research behind. So red is considered a very powerful, sexy color. So men typically perceive women wearing red as more sexually attractive and tend to see that intent there, whether the women intended it or not. So even wearing an oversized red top can be perceived as more sexually attractive than the same top in any other color. So it doesn't mean you should avoid red, just use it when you want to take up space. Here's the heart of it. Every opportunity to get dressed is an opportunity to align your outer appearance with your inner world. So whether we like it or not, the way we appear to others on the outside does affect the way that they think about us and the way they judge our character. Our appearance can shape assumptions about our class, our intelligence, even our mental and physical health. This is about playing to the crowd. It's about aligning your visual appearance with your inside self, and doing so with intention. So sending the messages that you want to send. If this resonated with you, go ahead and click like and subscribe. I post stuff every week about style. Sometimes it's pretty light, sometimes it's deep and psychologically meaningful. Some weeks I'm gonna help you pack for trips and maybe style a capsule wardrobe for a season. Other times we're gonna be talking about the psychology of getting dressed or the sustainability of the fashion industry and how that can be improved. Occasionally I'll drop a little upcycle project on here. Just all things style, because style is a very big and wide and broad topic. If you're ready to align your wardrobe with your internal self, head over to my website at erinsimmonsstyling.com and book your free 30-minute consult. And until next time, stay sustainable, intentional, and uniquely you.